Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with version exclusives was one of the funnest runs I've done in a while. Let's come back to New Vegas with one that I've been wanting to do for ages. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Fallout New Vegas using only explosives? This is something I've wanted to do for a really long time, but I haven't gotten around to until now. Whenever I'm casually playing a Fallout game, I usually just end up tagging one weapon skill. Either small guns, energy weapons, melee, or unarmed. I never really went for big guns or explosives because I felt like they were kind of rare and the ammo was rare, so I want to see how viable it is to beat the entire game literally only using explosives. Anything that uses our explosive skill is fair game. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think I can win, but I'm petrified of running out of ammo. I might have to be very careful about picking my battles. Let's explain the rules. In combat, we can only use explosives. That's basically it. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So let's start with character creation. For our special, I gave us a 10 in perception and 8 in agility at the cost of having 2 charisma. I really doubt that we're going to be using charisma much, but having high perception and agility is going to help us with those awesome explosion shots and VATS. Plus, VATS will help us keep from breaking our own limbs with explosions so much. Obviously, I tagged explosives, but also repair. I want to get to 45 in repair and explosives before level 6 so that we can get Mad Bomber. More like 50 explosives, since that's what I'll need to make the grenade that I'll be spamming, although I should have way more than that by level 6. For the last tag, I put it on Sneak. I figure I'm going to want to sneak up and try to one-shot stuff with explosives sometimes. That, or we'll end up needing the help to sneak around when we're low on ammo. Plus, reverse pickpocketing grenades is just super fun. For traits, I went with Wild Wasteland because fun events are fun, and Skilled because an extra 5 in every single skill at the cost of needing 10% more experience is a frankly amazing trade-off in general, but especially good if you're on a save file that you're only playing for a week anyway, like these challenge runs. So the first thing I do is sell off all of the starting gear that we can't use so we can get caps for explosives. I've got the Game of the Year edition, so we've actually started off with this cool mercenary grenade rifle with 20 shots. We also have 16 sticks of dynamite, so we can currently attack 36 times. It's not much, so the first thing I do is go around to the nearby powder ganger spots to steal dynamite. Yeah, we have to fight a few of them, but we get more dynamite back than we spend on them, so it's okay. Once I have a few explosives, I start making my way towards Black Mountain so that I can run down the other side to shortcut my way to New Vegas. So avoiding tons of unnecessary fights by taking a shortcut is probably just a smart idea. So the first big goal of the game is just to even get to level 6. Like, obviously our actual goal is to get to the New Vegas Strip, but I don't think we're going to get that far in the main story until we're level 6 and can reliably make better explosives. We literally don't get in a single fight on our way to Freeside, so at least we don't waste anything on our way. Once we're in Freeside, I quickly start seeing that ammo could be a problem. It takes quite a few sticks of dynamite to actually take out the crazies that attack you in the streets. Like, it was to the point that I'd often throw a stick of dynamite to break their legs, then just walk around until they give up and hobble away. It just wasn't worth throwing even more sticks to finish them off. Okay, so to get into the New Vegas Strip and make progress, I either have to get 2,000 caps to pass a credit check, or I can just do the King's Quests to get a free pass. 2,000 caps isn't that insane an amount, but I remember that you don't have to fight at all in the King's Quests, so I may as well do them first. The first one he sends you on is a quest to investigate a bodyguard protection racket. Now, 9 times out of 10, I easily finish this quest by either having high intelligence or medical skill, since I nearly always go with high in both of those. But for the first time in my life, I didn't have all the required skills to catch the dude in the act. So because of that, I ended up having to spend extra money to hire him again, just for him to attack me at the end. It takes quite a few tries to actually take him out once this happens, because he's able to absorb tons of damage, but that wasn't even the worst part. I then kept dying because his goons that would show up shortly after are so strong. I was throwing sticks of dynamites at them that weren't even taking a sliver off of their health. It was insane. I tried running away a few times but had no luck. In the end, the winning move was to go right up to the New Vegas gate, duck behind cover, and let the hostiles come so close to the credit check that the Securitrons just opened fire on them and took them out for me. If it wasn't for those Securitrons, I have no idea how I would have survived this. After that is just some more King's quests that have us running all over the place and talking to people. No combat in any of these and no difficulty at all. I'm sure you already know about all these quests from the other videos. This whole process takes like 20 minutes, easy as could be. And with that, King gets his entry into the Vegas Strip. I went ahead and talked to Mr. House right away. Ammo's limited at the moment, so I'm trying to blitz through the Yes Man quests. I figure it's going to be the best path through the game in terms of avoiding unnecessary fights. That said, the King's Quest... no, sorry, not that one. Although I did an awesome Let's Play of King's Quest 5 and 6 on this channel with my friends. Sorry, cheap plug. I'm really proud of those Let's Plays. So the quests from the King leveled us up all the way from level 1 to 4, so I just dumped a ton of points into explosives and put 2 perk points into intense training to max out our agility. Once we get to level 6, I can make cheap and powerful grenades out of microfusion cells, so it's all about conserving ammo until then. I don't think we can actually get the platinum chip before then, though, since we have no holdout weapons that are explosives, so we'd be unarmed if we went into the casino. Thankfully, those grenades that we can craft that I was talking about earlier are holdout weapons, so we can just sneak them in once we make them, so I'm off to go level up a bit. Okay, never mind. Just getting the experience for seeing Benny from across the room got us to a sliver away from level 6, so I just ran around and got some locations on my map to actually hit level 6. Sweet. Went ahead and spent some money on buying cells, then took it to a workbench to make a few of our new grenades. I spent about 250 caps to buy all of the Silver Rush's microfusion cells, but it made 19 grenades, so we have quite a few to work with. 19 grenades and 98 explosive skill. I'm liking our chances against Benny.
Look out!
Oh yeah, that'll do the trick. I'm liking these new grenades already, guys. Let's just go take out Mr. House early. So I pick up the keycard to the back room from Camp Golf, run past the Securitrons who literally didn't even fire a bullet, then threw a grenade at Mr. House. And it did almost nothing. So I threw another grenade at Mr. House and that one did the trick. Man, that was easy. All right, next is the base under Bunker Hill, and man, this dungeon was tough. Like way tougher than usual. I kind of loved it actually, because each room was its own little new challenge. All right, so while you watch, let me go over what it's like to actually fight with explosives down here. Every room has a really low roof, so no matter what VATS is telling you your chance to hit is, it's possible that your grenade just hits the roof, falls early, and then lands on you. Also, explosives seem to work weirdly when it comes to elevation in general. Like, you can't throw a grenade up a stairwell and then back up. For some reason, the explosion being above you seems to increase the blast radius, and it's more likely to actually hit you, even though visually it's completely impossible that it would touch you. You pretty much want to use VATS with every attack that you can get away with, just to reduce the damage that you'll take if the game decides that the incredibly distant explosion is close enough to hit you. The actual enemies will range between taking almost no damage from an explosion to being one-shot by it, pretty much all based on if you crit or not. Crits seem to happen pretty often though, especially if you're using VATS. It's either that or the ground is partially blocking some of the blasts, because sometimes they really do next to nothing. I think the game's doing that often-ish, but it's really hard to tell. The Protectatrons aren't always that bad, but the turrets are awful. It's really hard to time a grenade throw so that you hit them without getting shot at least a little bit. To say that we went through a lot of stim packs and Dr. Begs getting to the final room is an understatement. What really surprised me though was how hard it was to fight my way back. On the way back, the game spawned some sentry bots, and my god do they hit hard. They gang up on you in this big wide open room, so I ended up having to try the fight over and over, fighting them with a grenade rifle. It took out the first two pretty well after a few tries, but then I had this never-ending fight with a security bot that was stuck in the stairwell blocking us from escaping. We ended up dying several times, mostly due to the weird elevation grenade problem that I was talking about before I eventually started really running low on ammo, so I bit the bullet, sprinted past him, took some big damage, and managed to just barely get out of there. That dungeon was kind of brutal. So I know that because we're with Yes Man, we don't actually have to do most of the faction quest lines. But I mean, we've got to at least get the boomers on our side, right? It's the explosives run. I feel like the boomers are like our spirit animal or something. First, I gotta make it through this artillery field though, so now is a great time to tell you about this episode's sponsor, Chimera. Hey, I've actually been shoveling, so it's properly winter now. And you know what I was wearing while I was doing it? A Chimera puffer jacket. I mean, I also had a wonderful Chimera shirt on under that too, but I'm gonna attribute the staying toasty warm to the jacket. It's absolutely wonderful for keeping those harsh freezing winds off of you. Plus, if you want to layer up for the brutally cold months, you can also pick up one of these Chimera hoodies. Normally I'm a zip-up kind of guy, but I've really been enjoying my white pullover hoodie this year. Mind you, I only needed the puffer jacket for the shoveling, so, you know, keep that in mind. On the real cold days though, maybe go with both. Or if you're not shoveling does generate heat. I'm just giving you advice on staying warm in the winter at this point. So if you want to support the channel and look good while doing it, then hit up the description to go to Chimera and pick up something warm to wear this winter. If you're going to pick something up, then make sure to use the promo code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout to get 10% off your order and to let them know that I sent you. Now, do you think our explosive skill is going to help us befriend the boomers? Alright, the boomer quest. We have to befriend the boomers, and we do that by helping them out around the base. Pretty simple, right? Let's start with the easiest one. Or the hardest one, depending on how you look at it. History with Pete doesn't totally glitch out this time, so that's nice. Although, I kind of wish it did, because I made a really funny edit with that in the last challenge. I'm proud of that one. He repeats himself a bit early on, but it only takes a couple of minutes. He just gives you a rundown of the history of the place. If you talk to him after and you tell him how cool the boomers are, then it gets you a little bit more reputation. But our higher explosive skill does get us a little bit more on top of that, so that was nice. There are plenty of other skill checks here that we just didn't really qualify for though, so it's only a bit of reputation that we got. After that is repairing the solar panels, but I was smart and I got the Poseidon power plant on my map early. This quest is as simple as walking to the power plant, picking up broken solar panel pieces, and then clicking on the broken solar panels at the boomer base and selecting to repair them. Genuinely super easy, but that's not all the reputation we need. This is about to get difficult. Alright, now normally we'd have all the boomer fame that we need by now thanks to helping people out in the clinic, but we don't have much medical skill, so I actually have to do the ant quest for the first time in my life. Haven't even done it casually. It's where you have to clear out the power station of giant ants, but they're full of gunpowder, so they explode shortly after dying. Not only that, but they have this weird spawning pattern where only 2 or 3 of them will exist at a time, and every time you kill them, others will spawn elsewhere. This place took forever, and we were only getting one-shots when we'd crit, so heavy use of VATS is important. Remember, while you're in VATS, you take 90% less damage, so that helps keep both our explosives and their explosions from hurting us as badly. I still died here quite a few times. It's not all bad though. The boomers run this place after all, so there's a huge stockpile of explosives, including Thump Thump. It's a unique grenade rifle that has an increased explosion range, it shoots 30% faster, it weighs a little less, and it's a little more durable. Also, apparently it fires grenades with twice the velocity, whatever that means. I think it just means that the grenade reaches its target faster. Not the biggest upgrade in the world, but it is pretty good, and quickly became our main weapon for clearing the place out. Plus, extra durability just means we're doing full damage for longer, and that's really valuable for a weapon that's as hard to repair as this one. That said, we spent a long time in here. I mostly have to just keep moving around the top area, looking for where new ants spawn, saving, and then shooting them from afar. There's artillery shells in here just littered all over the place, and if you hit them, then sometimes you just instantly die. I think they just have an explosion radius that is way, way bigger than the visuals would imply, and that's why I'm only fine with shooting them if I stay on the upper level. I think they intend you to do this fight by staying on the ground floor and running around shooting them in some kind of crazy action scene, but you'd have to be mad to actually do that when they give you this whole walkway to work with. They're exploding melee enemies, why would you ever let them get close to you? Anyway, we walked out of the place with a better weapon, a lot more ammo, and some more experience, so I've got nothing to complain about. Honestly, kind of a fun quest. We didn't have great weapons for it. Using explosives for that whole place was really, really dangerous, but that's kind of part of what made it fun. That's all it took to fully befriend the boomers, so they went ahead and gave me the quest to float the bomber from the bottom of the lake. No fighting required. You just buy a pressure cooker from the start of the game for something like 18 caps, give it to the dude in the boomers who makes you the mask that lets you breathe underwater, and then you swim there. Make sure you look out for Mirelurks on the way though. They'll make short work of you if you aggro them. Alright, now doing all those quests got the boomers on our side, but there's also the Omertas, the White Glove Society, the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Great Khans to get on our side. Funny thing is though, we don't need them on our side. All we have to do is go near them, sometimes talk to a guy, and then you're allowed to tell yes men that we don't care about them and to not worry about it, and then we just skip the quest. It's honestly an enormous amount of work getting all these people on our side, and it's quests that I've already covered in other challenges on this channel. I decided to befriend the boomers, but leave the other groups alone. Some of that can make the final battle harder, but that's okay. I'm really hoping that our 100 explosive skill and multiple levels of demolition expert will be enough that we can just overpower them anyway. Now, normally the next quest is to save the NCR president, but because the NCR hates us, we can't actually accept the quest and it just skips it. So we have to do this really funny quest where you just install a chip in a shed. You literally run in after they tell you not to go in there, you install the chip, and then you leave. Yeah, that's the entire quest. Like, they tell you that you're not allowed anywhere near the shack, and then you just go in. It doesn't matter. Okay, we can literally just do the whole Battle of Hoover Dam now if we wanted, but I know I need to prepare. I went around to a bunch of shops that sell energy cells, microfusion cells, and 40mm grenades for Thump Thump. We've got a bit of science skill, so I can turn the energy cells into microfusion, and then the microfusion into those cool grenades. We've also got different types of 44mm grenades, so we could launch plasma and pulse grenades now. The plasma grenades are simply a way stronger grenade, and the pulse ones are for taking out robots and power armor. I feel like we've got a lot more versatility now. Okay, let's take stock. After going to both Chet's store and the Silver Rush to stock up on as much ammo as we could, this is our inventory. 8 sticks of dynamite plus 1 long fuse dynamite, 6 frag grenades, a whopping 52 handcrafted MFC grenades. Then for Thump Thump, we've got 59 regular 44mm grenades, 6 incinerary, 11 plasma, and 12 pulse. Honestly, I can't believe how affordable it was to mass buy the supplies to have this many explosives. This wasn't hard to acquire at all. We have a lot of caps left over. And here I was, worried about ammo the whole game. The second we had tons of caps, we were perfectly fine. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. So the first section of the fight on the dam is just fighting the Khans and Caesar's Legion along the top of the dam. This really isn't that bad though, because it's super long range and we have Thump Thump, so we've kind of got the perfect weapon for this. It's really easy to hit groups of them as they go to hide behind sandbags from afar. Plus, we have both the NCR troopers and some Securitrons backing us up, so as long as I'm smart and don't rush in and put myself in danger, the top side is all very easy. It only takes a few minutes before we get inside the dam, and we have to fight our way into the room to take control of the dam. There's 2 NCR troopers in power armor out front though, so I had to use sonic grenades to try and take them out. Thanks to the corridors being incredibly tight though, the Securitron ended up blocking my view and doing most of the fight for us. Victoria died just about instantly because she decided to walk into the flamers, but that's fine. The only reason we had her with us is because she gets us into the Brotherhood base earlier so that I could skip the quest. The Securitron took out all of the enemies once our sonic grenades took out their defenses. I went ahead and uploaded Yes Man to the computer, flipped the switch to power up the dam, and went topside again. Next, we have to fight our way across the whole top side of the dam to get to the Legion camp. If you thought it was easy before though, it's even easier now that we have a load of Securitrons. I took some hits, but I also took quite a bit of time to search every body I could for healing powder and stim packs because I know I'm gonna need quite a few of them. Once I'm at the camp, I have to approach very slowly. There's a lot of enemies that are in weird spots in this camp that we need to take out as slowly as possible. Most of them are melee fighters, so it's best to just break their legs from afar and bomb them until they're done. But some of the enemies are far off in the hills and don't really become visible until you walk in farther. It takes a while, but eventually I clear the path to the actual final boss, the Legate Lanius. Now this boss fight is just a nightmare. I had to try it at least 5 times as he kills us over and over and over. He's faster than us, he has tons of healing items, and he spawns lots of backup who like to swarm us. I only have a few doctor bags, so I often end up breaking my own limbs with explosives due to having to shoot at targets that are running towards us. We can't outrun them on a good day, but with broken legs, they finish us off very quickly. Every time I'd fight them, I'd try and figure out a new place that I could run to that might give me a better position. And weirdly enough, the one that worked best was actually to pursue Legate Lanius directly. Normally, I'd keep shooting at him while backing up, but on one run, I managed to hit him directly from up close, crippling his arm. We broke some of our own limbs doing it and had to fix them right away, but thanks to him stumbling, I was able to keep firing and actually take him out super early before he could pump himself full of healing items. That alone completely changed the fight, since I could run up the winding path to where the Legate came from and use that as a vantage point to easily shoot down the group of enemies that spawned at the entrance of the camp, and then run towards you. It was almost too easy. There were maybe 5 or so enemies left in the camp that just hide around in the rocky cliffs to shoot at us, but it just took a few minutes of us moving carefully and slowly, and then absolutely bombarding wherever the bullets came from whenever the shooting starts. It went great. On the way out of camp, the NCR shows up to congratulate us, but we've got a whole army of Securitrons here, so we let him know that we're going to be taking over. He talks a big game about being ready to fight, so I just tell the Securitrons to attack. I then instantly run behind a wooden wagon to hide because I'm almost dead, but our Securitrons obviously just vaporize them all from behind. Would have been really funny if I died right there, though. That's never happened before. Well, I absolutely love that run. Yeah, I broke my legs and arms and about 1 billion explosions from splash damage, but it was still really fun. I ended up with way more explosives than I thought I would. It's shocking to me that we never even hit level 12 to get the perk that makes us take less damage from our explosives. That would have really helped, but we ended up beating the game at I think level 11. I really hope you guys like that run. The next week's Pokemon Challenge will be up next Saturday like usual, with Pokemon Black with only one Regigigas. Man, I never get sick of these Regigigas runs. They are way more fun than they have any right to be. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. Okay, look, if you follow me on something like Twitter, then there's absolutely one burning question in your mind you want to know about. Because of that, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to address it, and I'm probably obligated to address it in next week's Pokemon Challenge as well, which is that you've been hearing me in all of the outros for months talking about how my wife is on a trip to France and then she's going to be back. But if you follow on Twitter and you're up to date on everything, then you're already aware that when she got back, we ended up separating after 14 years together. That's our own personal stuff. We're going to be okay. Everything's mutual. I wasn't being treated great at home for a long time, but everything's very complicated, and she is still a person who's very near and dear to my heart in a lot of ways, and we have promised not to be awful to each other on the way out of this whole thing, which I think is definitely the right thing to do, and I'm very hopeful about the future. So I don't really want to make some kind of big thing about this, but because obviously I talk about my life a lot, and you've heard about her a lot, some of you have heard about her a lot for 14 years, because it's how long I've done the channel and how long I've been with her, I had to say something. If you want all of the details, then all of the details that I'm willing to give are in a Twitter post that I already made a while back. Maybe I'll make it like the pinned comment or something, just so that you have it. But there's not going to be any public mudslinging or anything like that, so sorry. There's no real drama for you. It's not really all that interesting. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. I just need to very slowly come to terms with what it is to be a single man as an adult, because I have not been single since I was a 17-year-old. And I am 31 years old now, so I got a lot of stuff to figure out there. That's going to be a lengthy experience, but whatever. It'll be a fun time, and it'll all be worth it in the end, so I'm hopeful. Don't worry about me. I know that people worry no matter what I say, people worry even when I haven't given anybody a reason to worry, but I understand that comes from a place of everyone just really caring about me, and I appreciate that, because more so through this thing than anything, I've realized that people care about me a lot more than I thought, which is very heartwarming. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Really though, I got so much work to do, you don't even know, because I also have like tons of stuff I gotta do in my personal life now, from deattaching bank accounts and figuring out financial stuff and helping Fatima move and everything, so I have so much on my plate right now. I'm gonna get to working on that stuff. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.